안녕하세요. 저는 Charlotte이에요. Hi everybody, I'm Charlotte. A few years ago, I was searching for something to watch on Netflix and came across a Korean drama or a K-drama. Korean movies, music, and TV shows are starting to show up more in the US because of the movie Parasite and the music group BTS. I have seen more K-dramas available on Netflix since this whole K-pop explosion in the US. I pretty much only watch K-dramas. I find them more interesting than US and English TV shows, but that's just my opinion. Most of the time I'm watching K-dramas on the platform Viki or Rakuten Viki, but you can still find a lot on Netflix. I'm going to share with you 5 of my top favorite K-dramas in no particular order. The majority of these, or all 5 of these, are available on Viki. One is only available on Netflix. The first one is Descendants of the Sun. It is a melodrama with 2 love stories. One story is between a Special Forces unit leader and a trauma surgeon, and the second story is about the Special Forces unit's second in command and an Army officer. The 4 main characters are in and out of relationships throughout the entire series. The reasons why this is on my top 5 list is because, number 1, the relationship between the 4 main characters and the rest of the cast are wonderful. It's a dynamic crew, and some of the scenes are iconic and are mimicked in other K-dramas. So this is one that has actually resonated with other Korean producers, directors, actors, and everything. To go along with the scenes that I mentioned previously, it would be also the original soundtrack as well as the actual scenery. The majority of it was shot in Greece, so it's just pretty. And the original soundtrack, I can't imagine any other songs being put into some of these scenes because the music drives a lot of the story. And once I realized that I could actually find these original soundtracks on iTunes, I've been downloading soundtracks left and right for all K-dramas. Number 2 on my list is W. It is a fantasy romantic comedy. It is about the 2 main characters that live in 2 parallel universes, but throughout the entire stories they both start merging into each other's universes, and they're trying to figure out what's going on, why they are able to jump into each other's dimensions. The reasons why this is on my top 5 list is I was instantly drawn into the story, and I binge watched it over one entire weekend. So from episode 1, it just drew me right into it. The second reason is that I enjoyed the storyline as well. It was an interesting storyline. It's not one that I've seen very often, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. Number 3 on my list is Guardian, the Lonely and Great God, or it's also called Goblin. It's also a fantasy romantic comedy, and it's basically about a goblin, a Grim Reaper, the Goblin's bride, who is a high school senior, and a chicken restaurant owner. These characters all just kind of merge, their storylines merge and intertwine and everything throughout the entire series. And yet again, the reasons why this is on my top 5 list is the characters, the cast, make this a great series, great TV show, great K-drama. And my personal favorites really was the relationship between the Goblin and the Grim Reaper. And those were some of the best scenes throughout the entire series, laughing throughout them all. And this one was also another one that drew me right in from the first episode. Number 4 on my list is Gi, or A Korean Odyssey. It's a fantasy romantic comedy, and it is basically about a human who can give great powers to any demon who eats her or devours her. It's available on Netflix and Viki. It is the only one that is available on Netflix out of my entire list. The reason why this is on my list of top 5 is, yet again, all the characters are great throughout the entire series. It's from the main cast to the supporting cast. All of them, great acting, and the majority of everybody in the cast are playing deities or demons, and they're some of the greatest characters that I've ever seen, and the writing was just wonderful throughout it. And this is another one that I laughed and I cried throughout the entire series. And some of the best scenes are between 2 demons, Sun Oh-gang and Woo-hee. and they're yet again, it's back and forth, and the scenes are hysterical throughout the entire thing. Number 5 on my list is The Girl Who Sees Smells. This one is also a fantasy romantic comedy, and it's basically the bare minimum gist of this whole thing is that the female lead can see smells rather than smell them. And the main reason, and pretty much the only reason why this is on my top 5 list, is because of the character played by Namgoong Min. His character, he played it to where he is so evil, this character, but you end up liking him for some reason. So he's one of those that he's so evil, but you love him. And Namgoong Min made it. I can't imagine any other actor playing this at all. Okay, there you go. There are my top 5 favorites, and I really wish I could extend this list, but it would be more like the top 100, and it's kind of ridiculous that I have that many favorites, but I just can't pinpoint. It's hard for me to pinpoint a top 5, but really and truly, these are the ones that I suggest to everybody who asks about K-dramas and everything. Because I watch so many K-dramas, and I also listen to K-pop music, Korean pop music, I decided I wanted to learn Korean so I could understand what is being said in both the TV shows and in the songs. And mainly for the TV shows, it was because of that I was sitting around reading the subtitles all the time, and I would rather get up and do housework or watch them while I'm working and things like that. So it's one of those where I would rather I didn't have to read the subtitles. So I wanted to learn Korean, but also watching all of these, I wanted to learn about the Korean culture because it is so different than the American culture. So because of that, I decided to go ahead and learn Korean through the Houston Korean Education Center, and which I am very thankful that they offer wonderful classes and everything for that. So thank you to the Houston Korean Education Center. 감사합니다. And 안녕히 계세요. Bye everybody!